It's on now. I think that's a truck. We on now. It's on now.
Ancient Egyptian structures for over 2 centuries, archaeologists are no closer to
Bro, why they
discovering the
got
truth
so
behind
many
some of this
ads,
ancient
dog?
culture's hidden secrets. If anything, some of our finds have left us with more questions than answers. So what are the 10 most mysterious discoveries found in Egypt?
See what they got to say.
Number 10,
They're gonna say some alien
statues
shit,
of
huh?
Sekhmet. While uncovering the Temple of King Amenhotep III, archaeologists uncovered hundreds of 1.9-meter tall statues portraying the lion goddess Sekhmet. She was associated with war and retribution, raining down fiery arrows on her enemies as she slaughtered mankind and drank their blood. Or so mythology
Ooh, she
says.
is brutal, drinking blood and shit.
This
Sounds very nasty.
to what is a hugely frightening and vindictive god could number as high as 730. This begs the question, why? The sheer manpower and resources needed to produce so many effigies would drain the king's coffers substantially. The vast majority of statues show obvious defacing and intentional damage to the head and face of Sekhmet. This may have been a show of power, of man's...
No, first of all, I want to stop it right there. Let's be very clear of something. When you go to Egypt and you see defaced statues, it's not because of what he just said. It's because they are being whitewashed. They're being whitewashed. They don't want you to know. They don't want us to know that our people is powerful like this. And that's just the truth of it. So they knock off the noses so you can't tell, because the nose is a dead giveaway. Because as you can see on the statue, you don't see the kinky hair or nothing like that because they wore masks. The nose is a dead giveaway. So they defaced it, knocked off the nose, and just messed it up.
This may have been a show of power, of man's dominion over the goddess that left so many exsanguinated bodies in her wake.
But these things, it's not
Number
defaced.
9,
You can see the
Khufu's
face. I don't
secret
understand
room.
why they're saying it's defaced. It's
In the
not.
biggest of the trio
But that
of
is the reason
pyramids
why
of
they
Giza
deface
dedicated
statues,
to the
though. They
pharaoh
take off the
Khufu
nose,
lies
and that is
secret
a
room
reason
that
for
has had
that.
people scratching their heads for years.
That wasn't
This
defaced.
narrow,
None of that was
100-foot-long
defaced. I don't
void
even know what they're
extends
talking
along
about.
the same slanted axis as the one joined to the king's chamber. It was uncovered using Scan Pyramids Project, which uses a technique that detects cosmic rays to detect cavities in the construction of massive monolithic structures. This experimental muon radiography picks up tiny subatomic particles that fly off as energy cosmic radiation bombards us from space. In fact, half a dozen muons pass through your smartphone screen every second.
Oh, yeah?
This is the first large-scale inner structure to be discovered in an ancient Egyptian pyramid since the 1800s.
That's crazy.
Showing that just when we thought we knew it all, there
This
is
joint
still
got
plenty of
stairs and
parts the
railings
Great
and all
Pyramid is
that?
holding close to its chest.
That's crazy.
Number 8. Seraphim of Saqqara. Underneath a pyramid in Saqqara lies a bizarre crypt. It's clear that 24 sarcophagi weighing more than 100 tons each were moved here and hidden at some point in time. They contain mummified bulls draped in jewels and are made from a single solid block of granite, 4 meters wide, 3 meters tall, and almost 12 meters long. The
That's
stone
heavy as
cutting
hell.
is so accurate, it's unbelievable that it could be achieved with only basic tools made of rock. The lines are almost completely straight, the angles are sharp and match on both sides, and the surfaces are almost completely flat to a tolerance accepted by modern machining techniques. No one knows why the boxes were made so gigantic for the body of a single bull, given the pharaohs were buried in tiny sarcophagi that barely fit their bodies, or why they're hidden away deep underground.
Egypt is such a mystery. People out here saying
Number
aliens,
7,
man.
Unknown
Don't make no sense.
electromagnetic energy. No, it's not a scene out of the hit movie Stargate, but the Great Pyramid of Giza may very well be able to focus electromagnetic energy into the great chambers hidden within it. Research by theoretical physicists stumbled across it by accident, and although the ancient Egyptians may not have been aware of this bizarre property of their grandest achievement, it could...
Bro, the disrespect. This is why I don't listen to certain people talk about Egypt. The disrespect. How the hell you gonna say they don't know about some shit they built, dog? Do you understand that they built the pyramids to align with the stars? They could know that, but they don't know that they shit has electromagnetic fields in it. What the fuck? They know all, bro. They built the pyramids for a reason. So for you to say they may not have, that is straight stupid. That's disrespectful. Like, this shit is aggravating, bro. How can you say people that built this shit precisely the way they built it? Like, it still confused scientists to today the way it was built. They're confused, but they can tell you that they didn't even know. No, you don't know. Correct yourself. You don't know. You accidentally stumbled upon it. Accidentally. But trust me, it was built purposely. It was built purposely. All of the pyramids around the world lined up with the stars perfectly. It was done on purpose, which means anything electromagnetic that they knew that is in there was done purposely. Okay? So that means Egyptians already had electricity. European archaeologists just don't know how it worked. They can't figure out how to make the tools work to make it work. But that doesn't mean that the Egyptians didn't know. Or the Kimite people, because they're not called Egyptians, they're called Kemet. So the Kimite people already knew what the hell they was doing. Don't disrespect people, man.
Could actually help with future nanoparticle research.
Foolishness.
Electromagnetic radiation in the form of light, radio waves, and microwaves are channeled and focused towards these chambers and the pyramid base by the apex of the pyramid. Scattered wave
And they don't
energy
think
is
they knew
funneled
this.
by the angle and resonant frequency of the tip. And the very stone material they use to construct it creates nanoparticles that have promising practical applications in nanosensors and more effective solar cells. Coincidence or intelligent design?
Are you
So let's say you have to
retarded?
read an
You just said they
incredibly
didn't
long
know.
email
Now
to
you're
your
saying,
boss that
is
you
it a
have to finish
coincidence
before
or
the
is
big
it?
meeting starts
It's called
in 10
intelligent
Number
design,
6.
bro.
Meteorite
It's called
jewelry.
intelligent
The Egyptians
design,
may
bro.
have been master builders, but they were restricted by the technology of the time. They did not have the concept of the wheel and
Again, idiotic. How are they restricted and you still can't figure out how they did it? Explain that to me. Restricted by the towns, but you don't even have no idea how they did it. So how do you know what their restrictions were if you don't even know how they did it or what they used to do it? Please, please, somebody help me make sense of this. Please. It sounds dumb. It sounds dumb. It really does. It sounds really dumb.
bronze was the only metal they could effectively mine and work with. Or so we thought.
Yeah, so you
A
thought.
5,000-year-old
So you
tomb
thought.
on the outskirts of Cairo was otherwise unremarkable except for one curious find: iron jewelry. How then could ferrous beads be made in a time thousands of years before
The same
Egypt's
way they
Iron Age?
built the tombs.
The
You
answer
don't
comes
know.
From the stars.
So stop
Meteorites
guessing.
that fall to Earth are almost pure iron ferrite, with a little bit of nickel thrown in for good measure. In a religion that puts great emphasis on the cosmos, extremely rare metallic gifts from the heavens like this would have been the ultimate symbol of status. This still begs the question.
I will also
how did
assume
they get
that
the fire
meteorites
hot
was
enough to
falling
melt
like
the
crazy
iron?
out there for them to be able to do that.
Number 5. Dendera.
Again, stupidity. How did they get the fire to melt the metal? You talking about the same civilization that got electricity, bro? That same civilization? You don't think they got fire? You don't think they got fire, but they got electricity. You hear yourself, dude. Like, literally listen to this shit. Contradictions all through it. It's a light bulb right there. Literally a light bulb behind the number 5. They had electricity, bro. But they didn't have fire. Please stop projecting. Please stop projecting on the Kimite people. They were clearly an advanced civilization. It's clear as day. They have electricity, bro. Look at the lamp. Look at the lamp. Look at the light bulb. That's a light bulb. But they didn't have fire.
Light.
Make it make sense.
According to who you talk
Make it make
to,
sense.
The Egyptians may have had electric lamps thousands of years before Thomas Edison invented the light bulb.
They
the
had
temple of the goddess Hathor at Dendera.
Then he just says what I just said. They could have had lamps thousands of years ago, but right before that you said how they was able to melt metal and they didn't have fire, but they got lamps. But they got lamps though. Like, make it make sense, bro. Please.
Some of the best examples of preserved carvings and hieroglyphics.
That's probably what it looked like when
One
back
small
in
part
the
stands
Egyptian
out from
time
the
right
rest,
there.
However, it seems to portray what can only be described as rudimentary lights. There's a cable traveling along the floor to a lotus base, joined to a large glass container with a snake-like filament inside.
It's
It bears
called
an
a light
uncanny
bulb.
resemblance to a Crookes tube, which was a device used in the early discovery of cathode rays and streams of electrons. A Norwegian electrical engineer was the
Look at
first
them
to point out
holding
the
it.
similarities, and the inscriptions nearby speak about the light of the creator god, backing up his hypothesis. Number 4. The
Bro, it's
tomb
no
of the
hypothesis.
Silver
They
Pharaoh.
literally showing you they have
The
light
tomb of
bulbs.
Tsunamis I is widely regarded as one of the most underrated discoveries of all time. Egyptologist Pierre Monet discovered the tomb during the time of World War II and got the shock of his life when he realized what he had stumbled upon. The sheer scale of opulence within the tomb exceeds even that of Tutankhamun's final resting place.
King Tut.
There's an
Shout out King
unprecedented
Tut.
abundance of jewels and rare metals decorating the immense chamber, but it's the unique centerpiece that demands
That's dope.
attention.
That's the dope
To
coffin
date,
right
this
there.
is the only sarcophagus made entirely of pure silver. The craftsmanship is top tier.
How
with
did
a
they
level
melt
of
the metal
exquisite
with the
detail
no
far
fire?
beyond even the most talented metal workers of the time. A huge solid gold death mask sits over his face, a sign of opulence, wealth, and power. During his reign, Egypt was in what you would call a civil war, which makes this stunning display even more puzzling. Number 3. The Saqqara bird. There is an extremely odd and out-of-place artifact that stands out from all the others recovered from the Saqqara archaeological site. This wooden statue does not resemble a bird so much as an aircraft, thousands of years before the Wright
I
brothers
mean,
took
I
off
would
from the
not
ground.
put it past
It
them
may have the facial
having an
features of a hawk,
airplane
but the similarities
if they
stop
got
there.
lights.
The wings look like they came straight off a jumbo jet with an upright tail to match. The bird has no feet, instead featuring a smooth fuselage. There's a school of thought that a horizontal stabilizer once graced the statue that's now missing. Scientists have recreated a scale model using the exact measurements that actually flies, providing a lift force that's 4 times greater than the glider's weight. How would ancient Egyptians know about rudimentary aerodynamics?
You talking about the
Number
same
2.
Egyptians that know
Gods
about
on
electricity, dog?
In the ruins of the
Like,
Osiris
again,
Hall, dedicated to the Lord of the Underworld,
This guy
bizarre
is
carvings
really
cover the
not
walls.
it. He shouldn't
Ancient
be doing this.
Egyptians
He don't know what
believed
he's
that the
talking
gods
about.
once
He's saying a
walked
lot of
among us
disrespectful
and are
shit.
drawn as having great oval heads that look otherworldly. The pharaoh Akhenaten
Now we got to
ascended
go
the
to
throne
their
in
aliens because, you
1352
know, they
BC, and
smart as
statues
hell. They had
depicting
electricity.
Nefertiti
Clearly they had
show
fire
his
if they had
abnormal
electricity. So it got to be
elongated head.
aliens.
Whether
Can't be
his
black
skull
people
was
doing
done
this
as a child
4,000
in order to
years
exact
before
such a
we
deep
did
human
it.
shape to match the carvings of the creator gods is unknown. Though scientists say it's very likely that a unique genetic mutation caused the skull to grow in such a weird way. Remains found that are thought to
You have to understand something, bro. You really have to understand something when we looking at stuff like this. First of all, why is these white people in Egypt at this time? I don't have nothing against white people, but they're not Egyptians, so I'm not even about to watch this anymore because whoever did this clearly is not really taking account to serious real shit. First of all, okay, these people is not going to be protected from the sun. The sun will absolutely blister and peel their skin. They don't have fire. They shouldn't even really have electricity. So how the hell do they have sunblock? How they protecting themselves from the sun? Like, people did not look like this in Egypt. Brown skinned people like me have a natural block for the sun. Okay? They should look like me. They should not look like these women right here. None of these women is Egyptian. They don't even look Egyptian. If they can't even figure out the type of people or the color of people that's supposed to walk that area at that particular time, right? How can you expect them to know anything else? The issue is Egypt is such a mystery. And it's clear that Kimite is such a mystery And it's clear that they was intelligent beyond anything they could ever think of. So now they trying to make it seem like, you know, it wasn't people that look like me that did it. And that's just false. That's just false, because you can't grow in Africa without looking like me, or without getting skin damage or skin cancer really fast. So please, let's start with the whitewashing of our history. Let's give our people their props that they deserve. Africa was a advanced civilization that gave knowledge and shared the knowledge. And I'm saying Africa so people can understand what I'm saying, but it was Kimite. There was an advanced civilization that Europeans, Spaniards, and all kind of people went to try to earn the trust to get the knowledge. And that's how a lot of civilizations was able to flourish, because they went to the universities in Africa. Yes, they had universities in Africa way before people even knew what fire was, like they want to claim. But we had universities. Well, they had universities. I wasn't around. They had universities. Clearly, as you can see, hieroglyphics on the wall, they had lamps. And if they had lamps, you could best believe they had fire. And the funny thing is, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, because I'm done with the video. Like I said, I'm not watching no video that's about to show whitewashed Kimite people, because this is not the way they looked back in the days at all. Right? Just look at the background. In between those four ladies is fire. The same fire that they said we did not know about. The same fire they said we did not know about. Like, they lie so much, they don't even keep up with their lies in the video. This is an 11-minute video, and a person that contradicted themselves 3 times, because instead of just telling the truth, they want to walk around it. Archaeologists wasn't able to figure out why Africans and Kemites was able to have electricity. They know it's electricity, but they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't figure out how they was able to build a plane. An airplane. You saw it. You saw it. They couldn't figure it out. So since they can't figure none of this out, it's aliens, or they did it. But how your people did it, and y'all don't have no knowledge of how it's done. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm done with this video. I'm done. Peace. Okay, I can't do this. The disrespect, I just can't do.